Memphis might not be the largest city in the United States, but what it lacks for in size and grandeur, it makes up for in character, or in other words, culture. At the heart of Memphis culture is its religion. Memphis is a religiously diverse region, housing buildings and congregations to Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims. Drive down just about any old road, and you'll come across churches big and small, more numerous than the potholes on Poplar. The sight would be curious to anyone who's heard about Memphis crime rates. These rates are well past the national average and positions Memphis as one of the most crime-ridden cities of America. How can religion and crime occupy the same city at such extremes? Religion, on one hand, is much more than Sunday meetings, but rather it spans past the many church walls and into the actions and deeds of Memphis. On the other hand, Memphis is well known for its crime. With areas as infamous as Orange Mound, one might assume that Memphians aren't particularly religious, but crime doesn't necessarily mean breaking the law. Let me pose and answer one question. How can we measure the magnitude of influence of religion within Memphis? To start, let's define religion. In Robert Neville's Defining Religion, Essays on Philosophy of Religion, he tells us that when people think or talk about religion, it usually refers to particular perspectives on some aspect or role of religion, and a given individual can occupy many or perhaps all the perspectives at some time or another. It's then important to understand religion as a harmony, and not an exact thing that can be pinned down at one entity. To understand what I mean by harmony, we need to understand what crime is. Crime is more than disobedience to the law. It is opposition to a community's way of life. Any opposition to rules written or rules unspoken that have been established by a group is a crime. This stance might be nonsensical, but it is important in understanding the gray area between crime and religion. To illustrate my meaning, imagine Memphis as one day cycle. When the sun is zenith, we undoubtedly call that day. When the moon is the greatest light in the sky, we call that night. But what about sunrise and sunset? Can we call either night or day? Or to help to add to the confusion, what if we thought about them as moon rises and moon sets? At what instance does night become day? Or vice versa? This way of thinking is what we need to stay away from. Instead, think of the moon and sun as opposing forces that at its pinnacle are repelling each other and are keeping them at polar ends. Then we can think about the sun and moon when they are both in view and try to understand everything in between. To understand Memphis in this way, one might go about surveying various locations throughout Memphis to measure that region's subjective and objective religious devotion. Crime statistics can be pulled from government websites to gauge for a region's crime levels. Then juxtapose the two sets of data and find the mean. This would be defining our night and day. The in-between would be merely subjective accounts of personal levels of morality. Design sampling, choosing prisoners, non-associative, and clergy, ensures the breadth and width of the magnitude of influence religion has on crime in Memphis is measured. The rest can only be speculation and perceptive biased answers. My method is a general outline that must be accommodated per region. This has been my proposal on how to measure the magnitude of influence religion has on Memphis, but it's up to interpretation and correction. Thanks for watching.